Welcome to Hamilton County TV and welcome to the Gilbert Show. Welcome, Coach.
Hi, Perry. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Coach, talk a little bit about your game at Harrison. You went on the road. And,
Yep.
You know, most people don't quite understand it, but that's one of the farther places you have to travel.
Is.
So it's always a little bit different
Sure.
on a away game.
Yeah, well, with construction never ending on I-65 and on a bus, that was an hour-and-a-half trip. So that's part of the discipline it takes to win. You have to be able to handle the trip. So that's an underestimated part. That's something coaches worry about, I guess. But I thought our kids did well. You know, you're always concerned that you're going to sleepwalk through the first quarter, not be ready to go, maybe not be hydrated, things like that. We got up there late. We warmed up some, but not a whole lot. But then we came out ready. So I was super excited about that. We got the ball and we scored the first possession, and so that's always a good start.
Yeah, actually, you put 19 points on the board. That was, in my mind, because I always think this way. Normally, Westfield football teams always get off to a pretty good start. I'm not saying always, but they normally get off to a very, very good start.
We certainly try. We emphasize that.
But the second and third quarter, I mean, no one scored in the second, and in fact, they scored 8 points in the third.
Sure. Yeah, we scored 19 in the first quarter. I think there's stats out there. If you score first, you win 75% or something like that. So we obviously liked that part. The second quarter, we were fine. I think we scored right before the second quarter, and we had another possession the very end of the half and did a 2-minute drill, but we were unsuccessful. I think we had a penalty maybe. And then the third quarter, we did not have the ball. So Harrison's an option attack, ball security offense, and they kept the ball away from us the entire third quarter and ended up scoring a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So we didn't have a lot of chances, but we got it back in the fourth and we answered the call.
All right. Well, actually, offensively, Maximus Webster had a good night as behind center line. So he had a good and he threw the ball really well and accurate, and also your running game.
Yeah, we were pretty solid overall. I think we scored every possession but one, and then took a knee to end the game when we were in scoring position. But I believe we were about 15 for 19 passing-ish, something like that, a few touchdowns, but we spread the ball around. Well, I don't usually remember stats very well, but we spread the ball around. I like to see that. We were still without Jackson Wasserstrom. We were without, he's our best receiver. We were out without Zach Williams, our left tackle. So those two things make it hard to throw the ball. So I was very encouraged. I thought Nick DePasquale had a great game. Ian Bruck continues to impress. So just real happy with those guys. We got our Gabe Arambolis involved. He's a freshman for us. And then Patrick Schramm, he's been strong. So I've been happy with the receiving core. You mentioned the rushing game, so I thought we blocked better, and I was happy with that. Dalen Blanding filled in. He's a starting defensive lineman for us, but he came over and played offensive tackle and did well, and just always grateful for his contributions for sure. So Micah was Micah. He averaged over 8 yards a carry, over 100 yards, had a touchdown, while playing defense every snap. Trayvon Hatchett gave us some good runs as well. He had probably about 6 yards a carry. So we did not run Maximus. Cole Ballard, our backup, was hurt. So I didn't really want to run the quarterback a lot in that game.
Yeah, because Maximus is a very good running, or can be a very good running.
Certainly.
Yeah. So, and you were a little dinged up on that offensive line, which
Yeah, down 2 guys, so a starting center and a starting left tackle from last year. Yeah. That's kind of where it starts, right? So, but we're getting guys back. Zach Williams should be back for sure this week. Aiden Roberts is starting to work his way back in, so we're excited to have that. And we've had some guys just miss here and there, sickness, so we're not quite gelling as well as I think we will. but I think we have the right ingredients. We just need a little more time with them.
And of course, your defense played well. I mean, you had a lot of guys in that got some pretty good tackles and assists and stuff like that. So, and of course,
we gave up a long one on the first play of the game where we misfit a run, and they ran it about 70 yards. Luckily, we caught them and held them to a field goal. And then we gave up a touchdown in that third quarter drive. We had jumped off sides a couple times and helped them. But we really, I think we gave up 2 plays of over 15 yards, so that was good. Their goal was to milk clock and keep our offense on the sidelines, and they were successful in that. But we, it didn't produce victory for them. So I was happy that our defense, in spite of being out there that long, still did well. We actually ran more plays than Harrison, but Harrison had the ball way longer, like 12 minutes or something, which is a whole extra quarter, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Well, Coach, let's you got a victory there, and now you're 1-1, just about the same position you were this time last year.
Sure is.
You got Zionsville on the road. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Zionsville, because Zionsville last season, was in the middle of the Hoosier Crossroad Conference and got hot towards the end there. And of course, they're a 5A school, the only 5A school in our conference. And, they got hot right there at playoff time, which is that's a coach's dream right there. And played Cathedral as good as anybody did.
Yeah, they did fine. They did. Yeah, Zionsville's good, a well-coached team. They've got an amazing running back, Colin Price. He does a great job. They got a left tackle going to Notre Dame. Those guys don't grow on trees, so they have some good size. They have a really good receiver who was out last week. Not sure if we'll see him or not. A couple inside backers with starting experience. Excellent kicker, and Vinatieri's son. So I think they're legit. So they've had 3 sectional championships in 4 years, so I think they have a long-term perspective about a season, which is what you want. But we're pretty locked in on this week, and I assume they are as well.
Yeah, because the one thing about it, a little bit different than last year, because of course Price was a good running back last year, but it looks like that. He's catching some passes this year. I think he's got 5 passes, 74 yards, and or 78 yards. And then Harwick, another senior, is caught 5 passes. So
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they play us. So he's an all-state running back, but he last week played quite a bit of wide receiver, and he played a different kid at running back. So I'm not sure that they'll do that against us. Maybe that was just because their starting receiver was out. Who knows? We'll have to be prepared for either or. But no matter how he gets it, he's going to be electric with the football. We know that.
Yeah. He's one of those special
yes, he is. He's pretty good.
And,
for sure.
And it's a lot like Hauser. I mean, only Hauser's both sides of the ball, and you can throw a pass to him also. I mean, he gives you 150% every time he hits the field. It doesn't matter where you put him.
Yeah, Price is maybe a little more of a speed runner, but can run inside zone, outside zone, catch it. Micah, to me, is a physical power runner, and he can do all the above as well. He's a contact player, though. That's why we play him on defense too, I suppose. But those 2 guys, they're competing to see who is the best running back in big school football. So
absolutely.
I think it'll be interesting to see how Friday goes.
Yeah, and the other thing too, and we haven't really talked about that, is this starts the first game of the Hoosier Crossroad Conference. So
yes, the HCC's off to a great start the first 2 weeks. A lot of 2-0 teams, some teams that maybe haven't been up in the past are doing well. Great record against the MIC. So the HCC's off to a tremendous start. It'll be a dogfight for the conference all year long. I'm sure it always is. But I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to see where we are. We have had, a few great teams where we've went to state, won conference, but we've not done it in a back-to-back. And so for us to sweep the conference last year on all 3 levels, I'm not sure anyone else has done that during my time here. Maybe it's happened before I got here or whatever, but I'm not sure that that's happened. So we're going to be the hunted.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's a little bit easier being the hunter. So I'm anxious to see if our team can respond to that pressure.
Well, I think another thing is also in this Hoosier Crossroad Conference, you got some not new coaches this year, but last year in a pandemic, and when some of those coaches were hired, they didn't get to spend a lot of time with those players and stuff, and it's a little bit different because when you follow the teams like Southeastern and Fishers and Noblesville this year and watch social media, the kids are really working hard.
Right.
I mean, they're working hard on their own and elevating their game. So that's only going to make, top to bottom, Hoosier Crossroad Conference, you can't sleep any week.
It's a great conference, great atmosphere, great coaching, great players. You have to defend or stop some big time players, and they're coached up. So it's enjoyable, but it's hard. So, but I would agree. Coach Sharp, Coach Funk. Who else was new last year? Coach Kelly. Like those guys are good football coaches. So being in their second year, those teams are going to be better. I mean, I hope we're better, but I know those teams are going to be better.
And I think too and I know from both Fishers and Noblesville that that first year you kind of inherited the staff, and especially when you change your schemes and everything, your offenses and defenses and stuff. And now both those schools have many of their own coaches that understand and are on the same page. So
it just takes a while to get it there, but what you said earlier about coming in on a COVID year, that would be a impossible task. So those guys really had an uphill battle. I mean, you could have brought Bill Belichick in there, it'd be hard.
Absolutely.
So I think those guys did a great job last year, all things considered, but this year you can see the reaping of all that work, because all 3 of those teams have great records.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out and talking to us, and best of luck on the road to Zionsville, and then the following week you'll be back home, and Hamilton County TV will be here.
Can't wait.
All right, thank you.
All right, go Rocks.